Well, what do you want your monthly payment to be? Buying a first home or even your second home, we're going to talk about that. So hope everybody had a good weekend. This is Cliff with the Area Real Estate.
Hi, I'm Bex with Sun American Mortgage.
How was your weekend? You just said you went for a long hike.
Yeah, we did Timpanogos, Mount Timpanogos. It was hard, but it was worth it.
All right, so for all the Florida peeps, what is Timpanogos? It's a mountain.
Yeah, it's a mountain here.
Isn't it the highest peak
Yes.
in the valley?
Yeah.
What is the peak? It's got to be 12,000 feet. Right?
Yeah, it was above 10. I know that.
Did you go above 10?
Uh-huh.
Wow. Good for you. How were your lungs?
Okay. I didn't get altitude sickness, so that's good.
Good.
Yeah.
It was cold too.
It was hard, and it was cold, and it was foggy. Yep. Several people slept up there. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Wow. Good for them.
That. Young kids.
Good. Yeah, no, it's a beautiful mountain though. Yeah. And Sundance is on the south side of Timpanogos.
Oh, okay.
So
that's
gorgeous. Yeah. If you ever come out for vacation, go to Sundance. My wife and I fell in love with Utah at Sundance. I think we went up there. Pretty. We were on vacation. We went up there like 3 times.
It's pretty.
Yeah. Okay, Bex, what's the rate? Give us an update.
Yeah, rates are actually looking good today. We're opening with a little bit lower rate. We're right underneath the 7 mark, so we're at 6.875 true rate.
I saw it drop this morning.
Yeah. Advertised rate is closer to 6.375. That's with the buy down. And then on the FHA side, you're looking at 6 1/4, so 6.25 true rate. And then advertised rate with a buy down, you're looking at 5.875. So there's some good options down there.
Very nice. Yeah. What attributed to the drop a little bit? I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, 0.2%. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's going to fluctuate. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the 7s again a little bit. But let's take advantage of it while we can. You know, there's different things coming out in the news. Unfortunately, when there's bad news out there, it actually helps mortgage rates. So that's kind of it's a love-hate relationship there. Yeah. So that's contributed to it. So they may not last.
Yeah. Well, again, we're going to talk about monthly payments today.
Yeah.
Our vlog is more concentrated to first-time home buyers, but this can affect second-time home, if you want to buy a second home. But we are going to really focus in on first-time home buyers because there's a lot of speculation out there. Obviously, rent versus buy. Mm-hmm. If you do rent right now, your payment per month is going to be lower.
Yeah.
More than likely. But again, you're not getting that equity for your future. Yeah. And you're not getting the tax breaks either. So there's a lot of pluses if you can't afford it. So we're going to focus in on the purchase price of a $500,000 home.
Yeah.
That's a little bit lower than the median price here in Utah, but I think in other states too, that's pretty common. So $500,000, that'll get you a really nice townhome.
Yeah.
Right, a big townhome.
Yeah.
And a lot of complaints that I hear, I want a yard. Okay, well then you're going to have to step up more than likely to a single family home.
Yep.
$500,000 purchase price, depending on the neighborhood in Utah, will get you a decent size,
single family,
2,000 square feet home, maybe a little bit larger depending on the neighborhood, but you will have a yard.
Yeah.
So let's talk about monthly payments.
Yeah.
Because some have this idea of a certain monthly payment, but we don't want to scare anybody, but we want to be real with you. And then we're going to talk about some options. So $500,000 purchase price. Let somebody comes to you today, Bex, as a loan officer, and says, okay, I want true rate. I don't want to do any buy down. I don't want anything. 6.8. What did you say today's rate was?
6.875.
Let's just stick with 6. No, 875 makes a difference.
Yeah.
6.75, yeah. So what would their monthly payment be?
Yeah. So unconventional, as a first-time home buyer, your minimum down payment is 3%. So with 3% down, your principal and interest payment would start at $3,170 at that price point.
So that's with no breaks, no buy down, 3% down, right? So coming in 3% down. So that would be about $15,000. My math right on that?
Down payment, yeah.
Yeah, down payment. Sorry, down payment $15,000 plus your closing costs. So you're looking probably just to bring in about $21,000.
Yeah.
With closing costs, your down payment.
Yeah.
$21,000, and your monthly payment would be $3,170. As Bex has been highlighting in our weekly update, FHA is a really good idea right now.
Yep.
The rate 6.25 today.
Yeah, 6 1/4.
So what's the minimum down payment for FHA?
FHA's minimum down payment is 3.5%.
So that's going to be probably about $17,000.
Yeah.
Right. So that's down payment, $17,000 plus your closing costs, a little bit more, but your monthly payment is going to be less, which would be what?
Yeah, at 6 1/4, so no buy down, you're looking at $3,000, about $23.
Okay, so $3,023. Yeah. All right, so let's say they want to do, these buyers come in and they have a little bit extra cash.
Yeah.
And they want to do, we haven't really discussed this, but a permanent buy down to their rate. What is a permanent buy down as compared to a temporary?
Yeah, permanent buy down is for the life of the loan. So as long as you have that loan, this is what your rate is going to be. Versus a temporary buy down, like we've talked about before, that is temporary. It's usually for the first 2 years, sometimes for the first 3 years, and then there's a solid rate after that.
So let's say the buyers have an extra $4,000, $4,000. Yeah. How much off their rate can they get? What's the discount?
Yeah, the market that we're in is fluid right now, but a rule of thumb, kind of average, for every 1% of the purchase price, you can get typically about 0.5% off of your rate, give or take. It's going to all depend on several different factors, but that's kind of a good rule of thumb. So at $500,000, let's say you have an extra $5,000.
Let's do $5,000. Okay. I said 4, but we're going 5.
Yeah, 1%, easy math. From 6 1/4, you could drop your rate to 5.875 with that extra $5,000, and your payment would go from that $3,023 to $2,904. So it saves you just over $100.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. So there are options to get around the rate. We want to be true with you, and that's the thing about a consultation. Mm-hmm. Some people have in mind a certain monthly payment. I think all over the country, everybody realizes that for first-time homebuyers, it affects your monthly payment. But again, if you can, $500,000 is a lot of money. That's $500,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
Think about it, $500,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
So our recommendation would be maybe to lower that purchase price, get into a townhome, a smaller home, but you have that 5-year plan, right?
Yeah.
We've discussed that before. That's very important. I know you want to come in with this idea, single family home, that's what my parents have, but sometimes you have to build up to that.
Yeah.
If you can get into a $400,000 home, your monthly payment's probably going to go down about $500-$600.
Yeah. And then you're building that equity in the meantime. Instead of with rent, you're paying someone else's mortgage. So you're never getting that money returned. On your own property, you get a townhouse. You're building that equity for yourself. And then when you're ready to upgrade to something a little bit larger, maybe with a yard, now you've got that equity built up that you could sell your home and pull that equity out and put it into the new home. So it doesn't feel so heavy on you to come up with that cash. You're getting it, you're acquiring it over time.
Mm-hmm. So I think that's important why you have the consultation with a trusted loan officer, a real estate professional. They're going to tell you what your monthly payment would be. I think that's important for any buyer. Find out what your monthly payment is, because you may be approved for a $700,000 home, and now all of a sudden your monthly payment's $5,000 a month, and you're like, whoa, what happened? So ask your loan officer, ask a real estate professional, hey, what is ballpark my monthly payment going to be?
Yeah.
Because that pre-approval, you say, oh man, $700,000, that's great.
Sweet.
But then what is your monthly payment? You have to live with that every month.
Yeah.
So just sit down. Even if you're in another state, if you want to sit down with Bex and I, that's great. No problem. QR code's going to be here at the end. Yeah. So just sign up and we'll give a chat. Next week, what are we going to talk about? We don't know yet.
I don't know yet, but let us know if there's something that's on your guys' mind.
Awesome.
Let us know.
That would be great, because then we're talking about something that's interesting to you.
Yeah.
All right. You going for more hikes this weekend?
I don't think so. I think I'm going to take a break.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I have to think about it.
Check it out.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week. Bye.
Okay, bye.